Good evening. Florida's Department of Transportation, Florida's Turnpike Enterprise would like to welcome you to the Corridor Alternatives Public Information Meeting for the Central Polk Parkway East Alternative Corridor Evaluation, or ACE. We appreciate your attendance and participation this evening. This meeting will begin with introductions of the study team members participating in tonight's virtual meeting. We will then show a project informational video that runs for approximately 17 minutes. After the video ends, we will answer questions submitted through the meeting registration on GoToWebinar. My name is Jasmine Haywood. I am the Turnpike Project Manager. Imran Ghani, representing the consultant team, will assist me with responding to the questions submitted through the meeting registration. At this time, I would like to recognize elected and appointed officials who registered to attend the virtual public meeting here tonight. These include Haines City Commissioner Vernell Smith. The project informational video will now be shown.
The Florida Department of Transportation, Florida's Turnpike Enterprise, welcomes you to the Corridor Alternatives Public Information Meeting for the Central Polk Parkway East from State Road 60 to US 1792 Alternative Corridor Evaluation Project in Polk County. There are multiple ways to participate in this public meeting. The virtual option is being held on Tuesday, January 14th, 2025, where members of the public can participate virtually or using their telephone. The in-person option is being held on Wednesday, January 15th, 2025, in an open house format at the Tom Fellows Community Center, located at 207 North Boulevard West in Davenport, Florida. The same information is being presented on both days. This presentation will also be posted to the project website, centralpolkparkwayeast.com. This project is being developed in accordance with the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Under Title VI of the Civil Rights Act, public participation is solicited without regard to race, color, national origin, age, sex, religion, disability, or family status. Please contact one of the Title VI coordinators shown here to express any concerns regarding Florida Turnpike's compliance with Title VI. The presentation will provide an overview of the project and its history, present the project's purpose and need, the corridor alternatives under evaluation, our community outreach efforts, and the study schedule. The planning phase is the first phase of FDOT's project development process. An alternative corridor evaluation, or ACE, is a planning level study. Key components of an ACE include establishing the project's purpose and need, defining the environment, and developing corridor alternatives. The engineering and environmental features of each corridor is evaluated, fatal flaws identified, and community feedback solicited. If a feasible corridor is found, then it moves to the PD&E study phase for further evaluation. The study area is located in northeast Polk County. The study area is a large swath that begins on State Road 60 west of the US 27 corridor and extends approximately 28 miles north to US 1792 near Ernie Caldwell Boulevard. The alternative corridor evaluation will consider options for a new tolled, limited access highway from State Road 60 to US 1792. The highway would be constructed initially with 4 travel lanes, 2 in each direction, expandable to 6 travel lanes. Interchange locations will be evaluated in the next phase, which is the PD&E study. There are several major transportation projects to the north of the study area. These include projects to extend Poinciana Parkway, State Road 538. The extension of Poinciana Parkway to County Road 532 is being completed by the Central Florida Expressway Authority, or CFX. The Poinciana Connector, a project to extend Poinciana Parkway from County Road 532 to Interstate 4, is underway by the FDOT. Also, the enterprise is conducting a PD&E study to evaluate a new, tolled, limited-access highway from 1792, south of the Power Line Road extension, to the future Poinciana Connector. An alignment for the Central Polk Parkway East project was approved in a PD&E study completed by FDOT District 1 in March of 2011. The District 1 PD&E study identified an alignment for a new highway from State Road 60 to Polk Parkway on the west and State Road 60 to US 1792 on the east. The projects were transferred to the enterprise in 2017, and the enterprise immediately began piecing the puzzle together. Design of the Central Polk Parkway from State Road 570 to US 17 State Road 35 began in 2018, and the highway is currently under construction. A PD&E study was conducted to extend Central Polk Parkway from US 17 State Road 35 to 60. Design is completed, and the project is anticipated to start construction in early 2025. The enterprise also conducted a feasibility study in 2018 to evaluate the addition of limited access general toll lanes on US 27. Results showed that it was not cost feasible. In 2021, the enterprise reevaluated the route for the Central Polk Parkway East from State Road 60 to US 1792 that was approved in 2011. However, construction of homes and businesses along the route required significant alignment changes, requiring a new evaluation. This Alternative Corridor Evaluation, or ACE. A project's purpose and need are the reasons why the project is necessary and serves as the basis for identifying reasonable alternatives. The need for the Central Polk Parkway East project that was established in 2011 by FDOT District 1 has been updated based on current and forecasted transportation deficiencies. The project needs include accommodating year 2050 transportation demand, improving regional connectivity, enhancing freight mobility and economic competitiveness, and enhancing safety and emergency evacuation. Polk County is located in the geographic center of Florida and along Central Florida's I-4 corridor. It is less than 1 hour from both Tampa and Orlando and close to Central Florida attractions. It is no wonder why Polk County is one of the fastest growing places in the state and across the nation, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. More than 26,000 people moved to Polk County in 2023 alone, and the county population is on track to grow another 66.5% by the year 2050. Traffic demand on the roadway network will increase with the population growth. Similarly, traffic volumes on study area roadways are expected to increase by 65% by 2050. These graphics highlight one area of growth in Polk County, along Johnson Avenue and Haines City. To the left is an aerial from 2018 when the land use was mainly agricultural. To the right is an aerial from 2024, just 6 years later, where there has been substantial urbanization and commercial development. Residential and employment growth within the county and throughout the region has increased the travel demand on the roadway network. This congestion map illustrates light, moderate, or heavy congestion that is regularly observed on major regional roadways, including Interstate 4, US 27, State Road 60, and US 1792 during the peak travel periods. The congested conditions on these major regional roadways will continue to degrade if no improvements or alternative travel routes are constructed. In fact, by the year 2050, heavy congestion is forecasted for Interstate 4, US 27, State Road 60, US 1792, Lee Jackson Highway, and County Road 532. Earlier in the presentation, 3 major transportation projects to the north of the study area were mentioned: the extension of Poinciana Parkway to County Road 532, the Poinciana Connector, a project to extend Poinciana Parkway to Interstate 4, and a PD&E study to evaluate a new tolled limited access highway from US 1792 south of the Power Line Road extension to the future Poinciana Connector. With the Poinciana Connector, this project would provide a direct link to State Road 429 and Interstate 4, relieving congestion on US 27 and other area roadways. Drivers will experience significant travel time reduction. For instance, current travel time from State Road 60 to State Road 429 via US 27 and Interstate 4 is approximately 60 to 90 minutes during peak periods. If the major projects were to be constructed, the potential travel time from State Road 60 to State Road 429 could be 25 to 30 minutes. With more than 13 million Florida residents located within 100 miles of Polk County, The county's transportation system plays an important role in supporting regional and statewide goods movement. Based on 2023 data, Polk County supports more than 81 million square feet of freight-related land use, a total area more than twice that of the freight-related activity in nearby counties. The Intermodal Logistics Center in Winter Haven is a major freight activity center with a capacity to process up to 300,000 containers per year. There is a need to improve the overall circulation of freight goods and support economic development within the area. The Central Polk Parkway East project will provide an additional option to the existing local and regional routes, thereby enhancing emergency response times and mobility during emergency events. Having established the project purpose and needs, the next step in the process was to define the existing conditions. There are numerous socio-cultural and environmental features present within the study area that influence the location of the corridor alternatives. On this map, we will highlight a few of the socio-cultural features within the southern half of the study area, from State Road 60 to Lake Hatchinaha Road. The map is oriented with north pointing up. Socio-cultural features include established residential neighborhoods with parcels less than 1.5 acres and areas of proposed development. The Lake Wales Historic Districts, Bok Towers, Eagle Ridge Mall, and the Intermodal Logistics Center fall outside of the study area. Impacts to these features will be avoided or minimized to the greatest extent possible. Due to the size of the study area, the details of this overall map may be hard to see. To view these maps in greater detail, please refer to corridor maps on the project website or at the in-person meeting. Each map will have a legend that explains the symbols used for each feature shown. Sociocultural features within the northern half of the study area, from Lake Hatchinaha Road to US 1792, include public institutions such as churches, schools, and fire stations, established residential neighborhoods with parcels less than 1.5 acres, and new developments. This map will highlight a few environmental features within the southern half of the study area, from State Road 60 to Lake Hatchinaha Road. Environmental features include bald eagle nesting areas and wetlands. The study area is on the Lake Wales Ridge, which is an environmental area of concern. Due to its well-drained soils, it's a preferred development area, but also provides valuable listed species habitat. The enterprise understands there will be extensive regulatory agency review associated with this proposed project. Please refer to corridor maps to view the study area features in greater detail. Environmental features in the northern half of the study area, from Lake Hatchinaha Road to US 1792, include bald eagle nesting areas, wetlands, and conservation lands. It is important to note on this project that there are more environmental features toward the east within the study area. The Lake Marion Creek Wildlife Management Area and the Reedy Creek are outside of the study area along the east side, north of Cypress Parkway. Project corridors were developed after consideration of the sociocultural and environmental features within the study area. Corridor A, shown in blue, is the alignment from the 2011 PD&E study. 3 new corridors were developed. Corridors B, in gold, C, in purple, and D, in green, are the new corridors under evaluation and were developed to avoid or minimize impacts to sociocultural and environmental features within the study area. On this map, we will present the corridor alternatives within the southern half of the study area, from State Road 60 to Lake Hatchinaha Road. All the corridors will begin at State Road 60. Corridor A, from the prior study, is shown in blue. Corridor B, in gold, starts the furthest west on State Road 60. Corridor C, in purple, starts the furthest east on State Road 60. And Corridor D, in green, closely follows Corridor C until north of Masterpiece Road. Due to the size of the study area, the details of this overall map may be hard to see. To view the corridor alternatives in greater detail, please refer to corridor maps on the project website and at the in-person meeting. On this map, we will present the continuation of the corridor alternatives within the northern half of the study area, from Lake Hachinaha Road to US 1792. All the corridors will end at US 1792. Corridor A from the prior study is shown in blue. Corridor B in gold is located toward the east within the study area. Corridor C in purple closely follows Corridor B. Corridor D in green would be located the furthest to the east within the study area. To view these maps in greater detail, please refer to corridor maps on the project website or at the in-person meeting. Corridor alternatives A, B, C, and D were compared against each other to help determine which corridor best meets the project purpose and need, while avoiding and minimizing impacts to existing features. The evaluation matrix shown on this slide summarizes the results of a preliminary comparison of the corridor alternatives. You can review the evaluation matrix in greater detail on the project website or at the in-person meeting. Community outreach is an important part of the alternative corridor evaluation process. We encourage you to visit the project website to view available project information and to provide your feedback. All materials presented at this meeting are available on the project website, centralpolkparkwayeast.com. A goal of our community involvement program is to work collaboratively and coordinate with local governments to build a transportation project that achieves the shared community vision. The enterprise will continue to coordinate with our local government partners to develop a community-centric transportation project here in the heart of Florida. After today's public meeting, one corridor alternative will be selected and presented for feedback at a public meeting tentatively scheduled for April of 2025. If a feasible corridor is identified, the enterprise will immediately start a PD&E study to develop project alternatives. Additional public meetings and a formal public hearing will be conducted as part of the PD&E study. The final ACE documentation is anticipated to be complete by the third quarter of 2025. We need your feedback. You can provide comments at the project website, centralpolkparkwayeast.com. If you attend in person, you can complete a printed comment form. You may also email the project manager directly or submit your comments by U.S. mail to the project manager. While written comments and questions are accepted at any time, we ask that you provide comments that you may have in connection with this public meeting by January 27, 2025. Thank you for your interest in the Central Polk Parkway East from State Road 60 to US 1792 Alternative Corridor Evaluation, and thank you for taking the time to participate in this meeting.
Thank you for your attention to the project presentation. Before we move any further, I'd like to announce that Winter Haven Commissioner Bradley Dantzler also registered to attend this virtual public meeting. As we mentioned, detailed project exhibits are available on the project website in the exhibit room. We're now going to do a short tutorial on how you can access that information. All the materials that will be on display tomorrow evening at the Tom Fellows Community Center are available for your review on the project website in the virtual exhibit room. To review the exhibits, please first go to centralpolkparkwayeast.com and then select project 451-419-2. And that will take you to this project's homepage. Once you've reached the project page, click on the green Public Meeting Exhibit Room tab at the top of the page, or you can scroll down to the Documents section and select the documents on the Corridor Alternatives Public Information Meeting, and that is how you can view the project exhibits. If you select the exhibit room, this is kind of what you will see there. You will see a list of the exhibits that are available for your review on the left-hand side. And if you select one, here on this example is the project purpose and need. The board will open up. There will be a brief description below the board that explains what you're looking at, and then you can zoom in and zoom out. If you would like to download the boards, it may be easier to go and under the document section, and there you can download those boards. As mentioned at the start of this virtual public meeting, we will be responding to questions that were submitted through the meeting registration. I would like to acknowledge that we did receive quite a few questions directly to me at my email address and through the project website. All questions will be responded to at a later date. This evening, we will be focused on responding to the questions that were submitted through the GoToWebinar meeting registration. Tonight, we'll be answering 65 questions, with the first being, and this is where Imran Ghani from the project team will jump in to start assisting me with answering these questions. The first being, what is the specific route contemplated?
So as shown in the presentation, there are 4 corridor alternatives under evaluation. These corridor alternatives are corridor A, B, C, and D. They are being presented for community feedback. Detailed corridor maps are available on the project website and will be shown at the in-person meeting tomorrow.
Thank you, Imran. The next set of questions, they are frequently asked. We've been asked these quite a few times in different ways, 3 of which are shown on this slide. Where is the exact path? Has a final route been decided? What is the proposed alignment?
So we anticipate presenting selected corridor for public input at a public meeting in the second quarter of 2025. The final alignment within the selected corridor will be determined during the PD&E study phase.
Thank you, Imran. So right now what we're doing is we're presenting 4 corridor alternatives, which will be eventually narrowed down to 1 for further evaluation in the next phase. Thank you. Question number 3, is the entire study area going to be needed for the project?
No, the study area is much bigger than the corridor alternatives. The study area is about 2 miles wide or 10,560 feet wide. The final highway cross-section will be around 310 feet wide. Now, we will need more land at the interchange locations and for drainage ponds.
Question 4, what informed the polygon defined as the study area, and what could change the limits of this study area?
So the study area polygon, the western limits were based on the 2011 approved PD&E study. The study area was expanded east to allow for additional corridor development and evaluation. As we receive new information, it has the potential to change the study area limits.
When looking at the corridor map, why does it get so narrow just north of Lake Wales?
So the study area does get very narrow, and that narrow area is shown by the orange arrow. The study area narrows there because we wanted to avoid impacts to the Eagle Ridge Mall and mobile home parks and the historic district in the city of Lake Wales on the east side of US 27.
Thank you. Question 6, and we covered this in a project presentation, but we'll do it again. Where exactly will the connection start from State Road 60, and where does it travel through after that?
So generally, the study area starts at State Road 60. Our corridors are between Logistic Parkway and US 27. From here, the study area moves north and east, just south of the Eagle Ridge Mall. Further north, the study area ends near US 1792, near the intersection of Ernie Caldwell Boulevard. The 4 corridor alternatives are all located within the study area. Detailed maps of the corridors are available on the project website and will also be shown at our in-person meeting tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. So the next set of slides, we have quite a few, about 20 slides where folks Individuals asked what the impacts would be to a specific address or a specific road. So we're going to go ahead and cover that. We know that although we're going to be covering only those who submitted through the meeting registration, we know a lot of people will be interested in this type of same question. And please see the corridor maps. At tomorrow's meeting in person, we'll be able to walk you through and find a specific location that you may be interested in. Or you can call me, email me, and we will provide the answers. But again, these folks submitted this particular type of question, and we will now be answering this. So the first location would be, will the highway come through Chalet Suzanne Road?
No, the corridor alternatives simply cross over Chalet Suzanne Road, which later turns into Masterpiece Road.
Okay, thank you, Imran. So if I heard you correctly, the four alternatives, yes, they do cross over Chalet Suzanne Road, but as a reminder, we have four corridors for public input, and then we're going to narrow that down to one. So it will cross Chalet Suzanne at one location eventually,
Correct.
if it moves forward. Will the highway be on the Thompson Nursery side? Sorry, will the highway be on the Thompson Nursery Road side?
So the Thompson Nursery Road is shown with a yellow box. It is outside the study area.
Is it going to directly affect my properties at Neal Road and Pink Apartment Road?
So again, that intersection is shown on the slide with a yellow box, and it is outside the study area.
Will the previous Parkway plans, and they're referring to the 2011 alignment, will the previous Parkway plans for the area east of Haines City be reevaluated?
Yes, that is correct. The previous Parkway plans became corridor alternative A in this study. In addition, we have 3 new corridor alternatives under evaluation.
In the plan, what is the expected impact to the area north of Waverly Road and west of Lake Annie? And that's that area that's now highlighted by the rectangular box west of Lake Annie?
Yes, that area is outside the study area.
And we're encouraging everyone to view the corridor maps or attend in person, where there'll be plenty of folks from the project team to assist with answering questions and locating addresses. The next address is 877 CF Kinney Road in Lake Wales.
Again, that address is shown as a yellow box. Corridors A and B are near that address and cross just south of that address.
Thank you. The next address is 1882 Tyner Road in Haines City.
So again, that is shown with the yellow box. All 4 corridors are west of this address.
655 Hickory Hammock Road in Lake Wales.
So here, corridors A and B are west of the address, while corridors C and D are east of that address, and the address is shown with a yellow box.
2942 Chuck Wagon Way in Lake Wales.
As shown in the slide, that address is outside our study area.
318 Tyndall Trail, Lake Wales.
So corridor A is west of that address, while corridors B, C, and D are east of that address.
And as we're looking at these corridor alternatives, I'd just like to remind every so often that we have four corridor alternatives on the evaluation, and the goal is to narrow this down to one corridor, whether it be A, B, C, or D, or some version, because once we take this input from not only the public, but from our local governments, there may be revisions to these alternatives. So the next address is 314 Elmberg Road in Lake Wales.
So all corridors are east of that address.
7720 Lake Mabel Loop Road in Lake Wales.
So again, that address is shown with a yellow box. corridor A is west of that address, while corridors B, C, and D are east of that address.
Let's go north to Davenport at 404 US 1792 North.
So as shown on the slide, that address is outside the study area.
Let's go to Dundee, 807 Lakeview Avenue.
Again, that address is outside the study area.
Going back down to Lake Wales, the next two questions are regarding communities. The first being Leomas Landing. Folks want to know how that community will be affected by the corridor alternatives.
So that community is again shown with a yellow box. Corridors A and B are west of that location, while corridors C and D are east of that community.
And right next to that community is the Dinner Lake Shores community. Imran?
Again, that community is shown with a yellow box. As you can see, corridors A and B are west of that community, while corridors C and D are east of that community.
2023 Barstow Lane in Dundee.
So corridor A is west of that address, while corridors B, C, and D are east of that address.
We're nearing the end of such questions. This one here is regarding a road, which being Water Tank Road. How will that be affected?
So all four corridors will cross Water Tank Road. None of the corridors are actually using Water Tank Road. They simply cross over it.
And as a reminder, one corridor will be selected for further evaluation in the PD&E study. Someone asked, why is the Mountain Lake community avoided? And that's in Lake Wales.
So again, that community is shown with a yellow box. The corridor alternatives cross US 27 north of the Mountain Lake community. One of the reasons that community was not included in our study area or was avoided because it's a historic district.
What about the Towerwood Mobile Home Park? And we're assuming that this is in reference to the Bedrock Towerwood community. How is that affected?
So again, on the slide, that community is shown with a yellow box. All four corridors are north of the Bedrock Towerwood community.
343 West Central Avenue in Lake Wales, Imran.
So all corridors are west of US 27. That address is east of US 27.
6636 Spinner Drive.
So all corridors are west of that address.
Powerline Road. The question is, how close is Powerline Road to the proposed highway?
So Powerline Road is west of all four corridors. It comes closest to corridor alternative A.
The next question is regarding Bok Tower Gardens, and I would like to acknowledge that we have received quite a few comments regarding the proximity of the planned highway to Bok Tower Gardens, and we will address and respond to all those comments after these public meetings. But if you can, Imran, please tell us how close is Bok Tower Gardens to the proposed highway?
So on the slide, Bok Tower Gardens is shown as a yellow box. It is outside the study area. Corridor alternatives C and D are about 1 mile from the tower. Corridor alternatives A and B are further away.
How will the project affect State Road 17, which is a scenic highway, referred to as the Ridge Scenic Highway?
So none of the corridor alternatives utilize State Road 17 or the scenic highway. They simply cross over State Road 17.
So all four alternatives will cross it,
Correct.
and we will be narrowing down to one alternative for the proposed highway. So that's the end of that type of question where we're looking at potential impacts to a specific road, community, or actual address. And again, I know that many people online may have questions like this. Please reach out, attend in person, email. We are here to answer your questions and to address your concerns. So moving on from those type of questions, we are now going to ask, what is the proposed distance of the new road from residential properties along this path, and what visual impact can be expected?
So the distance from residential properties to the proposed highway differs based on the corridor alternatives. The proposed highway will mostly be at grade. However, we do anticipate elevating some segments to go over local roads so that we can maintain local connectivity.
Now with the new road, we will need land for this new road. So the next couple set of questions are related to right-of-way. Is the property needed for this project already owned by the city, county, or the state?
No, the property needed for this 28-mile highway project is not already owned by the city, county, or state. FDOT will attempt to maximize the use of currently publicly owned parcels along the path of the proposed highway. The path of the proposed highway is not yet known.
It's not. We're going to narrow it down and continue, and then eventually it will be known. Thanks, Imran. The next one, will the route go through areas with homes or just farmland?
So the four corridor alternatives impact parcels with varying land uses, including residential, commercial, and agricultural. Please see the evaluation matrix for the number of parcels impacted by each corridor alternative.
Will Polk County be purchasing the property?
No. FDOT will be purchasing any needed property for this project.
Here is a frequently asked question. Again, we were asked this question in different ways, two of which are shown on this slide. If the proposed project uses homeowners' properties, how will they be compensated? And what will happen to the homes and businesses in the path of the planned highway?
So FDOT will make offers based on fair market value as determined by a third-party independent appraiser during the right-of-way acquisition phase. In addition, property owners have numerous rights under Florida law that will be explained during the offer. FDOT will have dedicated relocation agents for potential and actual relocations.
When will there be an update to potential right-of-way impact?
The potential right-of-way impacts will be refined and updated as the project progresses through the alternative corridor evaluation into PD&E and finally into the design phase.
In what year should we expect property acquisition to begin?
So currently there is right-of-way funding starting July of 2028. FDOT reviews project funding on an annual basis, and funding is dependent on the outcome of the PD&E study.
All right, so we've covered the right-of-way related questions, and now we're going to move on to another frequently asked question, which is related to noise. Will there be sound barriers or other noise mitigation measures near residential homes?
So noise analysis will be completed during the PD&E study phase. The results of the PD&E study noise analysis will be made available for public review and presented at a public hearing.
Powerline Road was mentioned before. Someone wants to know, will it be, I guess, expanded to 4 lanes? And if so, will homeowners be notified in writing? And another would like the design details for the extension of Powerline Road.
So Powerline Road Extension is a Polk County project. We recommend you contact Jay Jarvis. He is the director of Polk County Roads and Drainage Division. His address His telephone number and email address is shown on the slide.
And for those folks who may be just joining us with telephone and can't actually see the presentation, can you provide his information?
Sure. His phone number is area code 863-535-2200. His email address is jaywarvis@polk.net.
Thank you for providing that information, Imran. The next question is also related to Polk County. Will Johnson Avenue be expanded?
So again, that is also a Polk County roadway. Again, we suggest contacting Jay Jarvis. His contact information is also shown on this slide.
Is land being set aside for light rail and multipurpose trails?
So land is not being set aside for light rail. The potential for a multi-use trail located outside of the limited access right-of-way will be discussed with local governments.
Thank you, Imran. I mentioned we had 65 questions and we're on question number 43. We are proposing a new highway and folks want to know how they'll be able to get on and off of it. So the questions are, what are the planned interchange, where are the planned interchanges located? How many will there be? What are the access points?
So those decisions, including how many interchanges and access points, will be determined during the PD&E study.
Okay, so we'll look at them very high level in the ACE, the alternative corridor evaluation, but we won't really be digging into the details until PD&E study.
Correct.
How much is this project going to cost taxpayers?
So the project will be funded through toll and concession revenues collected on Florida's turnpike facilities. The total cost of the proposed highway project is currently not known.
Will all of the extensions be toll roads? So the question is basically asking, is a proposed highway, is it going to be all tolls?
Yes, the proposed highway will be a tolled road.
We've explained this before, but there's no harm in explaining again how folks can see the corridor alternatives, because that is why they are joining us today and tomorrow night. So Imran, how can they view the corridor alternatives that we've presented?
So detailed project maps are available at the project website. That website address is www.centralpolkparkwayeast.com. Once you go to that website, please select project 451419-2. Then click Public Meeting Exhibit Room or simply scroll down to Documents to view the location, the corridor maps.
We covered this in the presentation, why the project is needed. We call them project needs, the project purpose and need. Can you answer this again? Why is the road necessary?
So the need for the proposed highway is based on current and forecasted transportation deficiencies. The purpose of the project is to accommodate transportation demand, improve regional connectivity, enhance freight mobility and economic competitiveness, and enhance safety and emergency evacuation.
And that graphic to the right, Imran, shows that with this planned highway and with the other planned projects in the area, a direct connection to I-4 and State Road 429 would be provided. So that hits on that improved regional connectivity. Question 48, is the US 1792 expansion planned to be completed before this project? And if so, would that be sufficient to help alleviate congestion?
So the enterprise is conducting a PD&E study for a new highway from US 1792 to future Poinciana connector. This project is very likely to be constructed first and would partially alleviate traffic on US 1792. However, it would not provide substantial relief to US 27.
And when you said this project, Imran, would be constructed first, you mean the highway from US 1792 to the future Poinciana connector, correct?
Correct. Thank you.
How will this project, the planned highway from State Road 60 to US 1792, how will this project affect property value?
So Florida's Turnpike Enterprise only appraises those properties that are needed for the project. The enterprise does not provide opinions on potential future property values.
Thank you. So we have 15 more questions to go. Question 50 is there an existing example of what the highway would resemble for a reference point?
So there is a toll facility in Polk County called Polk Parkway that will be very similar. Polk Parkway, after being widened, is a 4-lane toll highway with 2 lanes in each direction.
Let's switch gears to environmental. What are the environmental considerations for the path of the project?
So the enterprise will evaluate potential impact to the natural, social, cultural, and physical environment. We strive first to avoid any environmental impacts. If we cannot avoid environmental impacts, our next challenge is to minimize those environmental impacts. Potential mitigation strategies for unavoidable environmental impacts will initially be considered in the ACE study and further evaluated during the PD&E study phase.
Will wildlife corridors or underpasses be planned and built? And who is being consulted as to wildlife corridor needs?
So wildlife corridors within the project will be identified in the ACE. Potential wildlife crossings will be evaluated during the PD&E study. We will coordinate this effort with U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission.
Question 53 asks, is there any other option other than running it through where it's projected to run through?
Unfortunately, there are very limited opportunities outside of the identified study area for a new highway that parallels US 27.
There is a lot of growth in Polk County, Imran.
Yes.
Why not run the toll road along Johnson Avenue, Cypress Parkway, to State Road 538, to the future Poinciana connector, and then to State Road 429? So this individual has given us a route along Cypress, exactly as it shows on the screen. Why not use that route?
So we did evaluate Cypress Parkway route, and it was considered not feasible for 3 major reasons. Number 1, it provided the least traffic relief to US 27. Second, it had the lowest travel demand compared to other corridor alternatives. And third, it had greater environmental impacts when compared with other corridor alternatives.
We discussed the 2011 alignment that was approved under District 1 PD&E study, and we have received several questions as to why not use the past selected route.
We are using the past selected route. That past selected route is corridor alternative A. In addition, we have developed 3 new corridor alternatives.
Thank you. So when you say we're using it, it is one of the corridor alternatives under evaluation.
Correct.
Why did the plan change from 2011-2012? We've had that question numerous times as well.
So the growth in Polk County outpaced the ability to deliver the approved alignment on the east side from State Road 60 to US 1792. The approved alignment on the west side is under construction. The 2011 alignment is corridor alternative A as part of this study and will be compared against the 3 new corridor alternatives that we have developed, and those are corridor alternatives B, C, and D.
Why is east of Lake Wales not being considered to connect to State Road 60? So We had just a handful of this question where folks are wondering why we did not intersect with State Road 60 at the Walmart, the Super Walmart.
Correct. We actually did evaluate a connection east of US 27 in Lake Wales, and it was eliminated based on coordination within the city of Lake Wales. That alternative had too much impacts to existing land uses.
Thank you. Question 58, what considerations would lead to abandonment of the plan?
So the proposed project does need to meet environmental and financial feasibility to move forward.
Why doesn't the project run north to State Road 417?
So there is no viable route directly to State Road 14. The intent of this project is to provide a limited access connection from State Road 60 all the way to I-4 and to 429. If you stay on I-4, this project will provide indirect access to State Road 14 through the connection on I-4.
Now 14 is way up. You mean 417, right,
417,
Imran?
thank
Okay,
you.
good.
Sorry.
All right, so 60, 5 more to go. Is the rest of CPP East project being funded? So the graphic on the right shows the approved design segments from that 2011 PD&E study. So it started I-4, and then it was like a beltway to get to 570. This person is asking what is happening to the segments that are shown in red that will connect Central Polk Parkway on the east to Central Polk Parkway that's under construction on the west.
Okay. So those segments shown in red, that connect the Central Polk Parkway to Central Polk Parkway are not moving forward at this time.
Is the project fully funded? This is a frequently asked question, Imran.
So project has partial design and right-of-way funding. The construction is currently not funded. As I mentioned earlier, FDOT evaluates funding on an annual basis, and this project is a high regional priority.
With that being said, the next question then is, what is the projected timeline?
So the proposed 28-mile highway will be segmented into viable construction projects. Construction projects of this magnitude usually take 4 to 5 years to complete when segmented.
Okay, so we can't give an actual timeline because construction is currently unfunded, but we thank you for letting us know 4 to 5 years when it's broken into segments. Last three, Imran.
Sure.
Thank you for your help with this. Is it not wiser to affect the future lifestyle of newer residents moving into the area than those who currently live here and enjoy an established lifestyle?
We are attempting to first avoid and then minimize impact to all neighborhoods. As part of the project, we have been coordinating with developers and local governments of planned communities to see if they can accommodate a potential highway.
I'm going to take question number 64, which asks, who or what entities are involved in making this decision? The enterprise has coordinated with and will continue to coordinate with local governments. Shown on the slide, we have Winter Haven, City of Lake Wales, Haines City, Town of Dundee, Town of Lake Hamilton, City of Davenport, Polk County, Polk TPO, and the Central Florida Regional Planning Council. We're going to continue to coordinate with the local governments to build a transportation project that achieves a shared community vision. And of course, meetings like tonight, and we're going to have one more meeting in the alternative corridor evaluation phase, and at least 2 during the PD&E study, including a public hearing. The community input that we receive through this process will help inform our decision-making process. And the last question, Imran, who votes on the final decision?
So there is no voting on this project. the executive director of Florida's Turnpike Enterprise, after considering community input, results of environmental and engineering analysis, approves the alternative corridor evaluation report.
All right, so that's the questions. And again, I like to stress that I know there's plenty more questions, but these are the questions that we received through the meeting registration. I did receive quite a few through the project website and directly to my email address. We will be responding to all questions by email. And we're looking forward to seeing folks tomorrow in person, if you can attend in person, where we will have quite a few people from the project team to answer questions one-on-one. So that concludes the question and answer session, and now we'll go ahead and close out the presentation. All right, so that concludes the questions received at the meeting registration. And we're just reminding folks, please, we're here to get your input, your feedback, your questions. So please submit comments and questions at a method that's convenient for you or to you. You can submit questions and comments online at the project website, in person using the comment form tomorrow night at the Tom Fellows Community Center, by email directly to me, or by US mail to me. And the contact or the mailing address is shown here. We've provided QR code sprinkled throughout this presentation. Hopefully it makes it easier for you to get to the project website. Now, while you can comment and provide questions and call me at any time throughout this alternative corridor evaluation, if you would like your comments and questions to be part of the public meeting record, we ask that you provide them by January 27th. We would also like your input on the name of the potential highway. This evening, and for the foreseeable future, we will be calling the highway, the planned highway, Central Polk Parkway East. And that's differentiated from what's under construction on the west side. But we would like your input as to what the proposed highway should be called if it moves forward. So please, any idea that you have, the enterprise is excited to hear it. Following the meeting, a recording of the virtual meeting, so the entire virtual meeting tonight this meeting was recorded and it will be posted to the project website. Give us about 4 days to get it there, so sometime next week, the 4 business days. The recording of tonight's meeting will be available on the project website for viewing. So that's it. We thank you for your interest in this project. Don't forget to visit the project website. We really would like to hear from you, so submit your questions and your comments. And to conclude, on behalf of Florida's Turnpike Enterprise, we thank you for your interest in this project and hope you have a good evening.